Welcome back to the Grim Wonder Speculative Podcast. I'm Joe here with James. Today we're going to be discussing Abaddon's Gate, chapters 26 through 39. And this section began with Bull waking up, being hospitalized from a shattered spine, which was unfortunate. I like Bull. I didn't want anything bad to happen to him. How did you feel about it?
I mean, I think I was pretty upfront about him being the character I like the most of the newest ones.
Yeah, yeah. So did this kind of? I mean, he definitely made the most of it for sure. But how did you feel? I mean, I feel like it actually. To be honest, I mean, it sucks that a shattered spine happened to him, but it actually kind of grew my fondness of him because like his first concern was like the safety of the crew, and I don't even think he noticed that he was paralyzed for like what was it, a good 3 or 4 pages. And then I think toward the end, they kind of gave him the opportunity to be put in a coma with almost near guaranteed full recovery, and he just chose not to. So,
Yeah,
how did you feel about how like that decision?
I mean, it speaks to the character, right? Because there isn't a whole lot. There isn't a whole lot to him at this point. I don't want to say there's nothing, but but it has seemed like mostly up to this point he's just a shoe-in motivation for whatever Fred wants. And so I guess to me, like getting to that point and like seeing that he is concerned uh, more with his subordinates over his own personal health at first. Um, it maybe tells you that he is not just like he is to Fred. Uh, he's like that to a larger audience of probably just characters that he as a character is going to care about more. So it's also a behavior I think will give away, because I can't remember her name. I'm trying so hard to remember her name. The other character, the one that got in trouble. Um, you can kind of see it a little bit there too, and whether or not as this book goes on and they stay in this area, um, whether or not he starts to treat some of those other characters like the captain or the engineer. Um, I can't remember their names.
Well, Sam is the I think the
Sam.
mechanic
Sam's the
that you're
engineer.
thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that he has kind of like a funny brother sister relationship with almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this kind of increases his nobility, I guess, except for the minor stain where earlier in the novel he spaced somebody for simply getting people high. But maybe he regrets that. I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of
Not a chance.
that that introduction to him kind of made me dislike him a bit. I mean, obviously, you got to do something about some asshole getting people high when it's people's lives are at stake, but I feel like that might have been a bit extreme. Maybe lock him up. I don't know, but I guess setting an example. But um, the only thing that I think threw me off was that they wanted to put him into a coma because they couldn't really do anything with him with it when there wasn't any gravity. But then they decided to fire up the drum for gravity anyway. So why couldn't they still do it for him? Or I guess he's got to be out for like the surgery would what put him out for a while, wouldn't it? I
Yeah.
wasn't sure. I thought they were giving me the impression that they needed gravity and they weren't going to get gravity soon. But then at the end
No,
of
no,
the
no.
chapter, they're like, "We're going to fire up the drum for gravity." So
he needs he couldn't. Gravity is important for a couple of things, but that's not it. The gravity, the only way that the gravity actually helps him is that it lets his body do its thing to clear fluid out of his lungs.
yeah,
But they had him laying down instead of sitting up without the gravity because uh, without gravity, down isn't necessarily down. Down is just whatever your perception of it is. Um, so the fluid isn't actually actively leaving, but um, with
which was
gravity,
described
his
in
yeah.
delightful detail.
But the thing is, like with gravity, his lungs start working better, but that puts pressure on his spine. So it's like with
Yeah,
gravity, he fucks his spine better, but his lungs work. Without gravity, he's keeping himself safe so that they can repair as much damage to him as possible. But
gotcha.
his lungs don't work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So more on him. I think decided to take a different approach. We'll kind of just go in like I guess chronological order. So while that's happening, I guess Melba is spacewalking. Melba slash Clarissa, and I'm kind of curious to see how you feel about her arc of what's happened so far. But goes to the Roci in an Eva suit. Uh, I guess goes to attack Naomi, and then Anna just happens to be there and teases her from behind. And then gets up and goes fucking crazy. I guess corners them in a locker. Because Naomi, I guess, passed out. Because didn't she like saw a. Was it sawing or did she crush? I think, yeah, no, not sawing. She used that loader to crush her
Yeah.
collarbone essentially. And then I guess Naomi passed out from that. Um, so what happened to Melba? She just. Because I think was it just too much or what? Because she like threw up and passed out, but like I don't like did that is that something that they ever described was a risk or was this kind of just like convenience to protect these
Wait,
characters?
what are you? Yes, yes, twice now.
Wait,
When
what's
she,
twice?
twice now they've explained why that happens. Once when she did it to the dudes in the bar, and then once when she did it to the dude that she was banging when she was pretending to be Melba. That she uh, encased in that cool box thing.
Yeah, but I feel like that it happens like later at night. This seemed like it was pretty immediate after she kind of activated the glands.
It is immediate. She gets like 3 minutes of glands, and then like 2 or 3 minutes of uncontrollable emotion and crying,
Hmm.
which is I mean they specifically call out earlier in the book. It's the reason that they never went forward with the technology. It's like she's got it, and it's rare because it was being developed for soldiers, but an army can't have 3 minutes of like complete discipline and then the whole platoon crying on the ground and vomiting on themselves. So it became really good for shadow work, assassin work, and wasn't used for military like they had thought it would be, specifically because it makes you do that right after it wears off. But she called it out last time too because she when she started crying after she killed the dude that she was banging, um, she made the comment then that it was like, oh, I wonder if it's just because the glands are wearing off, so now this is it. But this feels worse. Um,
Yeah, I mean I knew about the emotions and everything, but I didn't know about throwing up and passing out.
You've never hyperventilated from emotion? Are you kidding me, Mr. Anxiety?
No, I've never done that. But I mean, it's good that we're both reading it because I did that just completely went over. I must have missed it, or I guess my brain decided not to store any of that information. So that's why I'm glad we're both kind of tackling this together. But yeah, she passed that. But how do you feel about that whole encounter um,
I mean,
with her trying to kill Naomi?
I I don't really have a. I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I don't. I don't feel strongly about it in any way whatsoever.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. Did this section at all? Because I know you and I were pretty much
It's all been
like
slow so
meh.
far. Yeah.
We've been meh with Anna. Did this did this experience change anything, or are you still meh?
No, so the very last chapter actually made me like Anna more than at any other point. Because like actually, I was less meh and more annoyed. Why? Let's save what's her face. Let's not Melba. Now that she's using her real name, whatever Melba. Um, let's save her. No, fuck off. What do you mean? Let's save her? Bullshit. Like
Well, I don't know if she originally wanted to. I think wasn't it Tilly that
Philly is the
talked
one.
her
Yeah.
into it,
Yep. Yeah.
and of course, her being a religious figure, somebody crying or asking for help, she feels like she can't turn it away.
Where he comes in and he tries to convince her to join the people who want to blow up the ring.
Oh yeah,
And she
and locked and basically trapped him inside.
told him to fuck himself.
Yeah, yeah. I had a feeling that guy was going crazy. But yeah, we're getting ahead. We should probably talk about how Ashford was arrested. But so yeah, I think what was it? Well, Monica, like the TV broadcaster, is kind of just doing broadcasts now. I think because they invite everybody to. They start inviting people to the Behemoth, and they were getting a lot of people to come. Usually without question, I guess, because they got the gravity, and it's just going to help people heal. And I guess one of the things Holden or one of the things that Bull wanted to do was get Holden on there, but Martians weren't budging at first. Um, I think it was so, and then Anna comes back with Naomi. They tell Bull that it was Clarissa who did all this, and then they arrest Ashford. How did you feel about that?
I didn't care. I don't like his character.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
I mean, you're not supposed to like him. I
no, I
think
know. I
he's a
know.
dickhead. Um, but it was like, um, I mean, I feel like what was it? Pa was the more reasonable one, and I guess it's just
Yeah, for sure.
I just yeah, Ashford is just like one step away from just having a twirly mustache. Uh, but yeah, they arrest him, which actually I was not expecting. I mean, I expected something to happen with him where they would eventually take over command, but I wasn't expecting like an arrest because I thought there was a lot of people still. Well, I guess a lot of people being loyal to him is kind of how he got out, but. Um, yeah, I guess that was kind of like how they ended up together next to Clarissa. Um, but yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Marge, Marge, Mars was not budging. Was it Captain Jacandana. These names in this book, man. Like, although I guess if we're gonna read fantasy, I guess I better buckle up. But yeah, he's interrogated. Of course, well, interrogated as Holden would ever be interrogated. He basically just tells her everything, um, like right down to seeing Miller. Um, and I guess Miller reappears again and tells him that he has a lousy taste in friends. You think Miller's gonna just be in the rest of the series?
As
Just as
long
a, just
as Holden is probably, yeah.
well, that's what I'm curious about too, because I'm like I mentioned to you before. Um, there's 9 books in the series, and it sounds like each one there's a trilogy of trilogies where like these first 3 books are kind of like the initial trilogy, and then the next book kind of is the start of like a new era almost. I think there might be a time jump. I think there's a significant time jump between 3 and 4, as well as a significant time jump between 6 and 7. So, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, so you mentioned earlier. Um, I guess that's kind of how they figured out that she's Clarissa because of Tilly, and Tilly being her she was her like nanny or what or something, right?
Yeah. Friend of the
Um,
family to the point where she
yeah,
babysat kind of deal.
yeah. So she was like holding her like a child, essentially, um, which I guess is supposed to humanize her after she's been acting crazy and inhuman for pretty much this entire time. But I don't know. I'm not falling for it, and for good reason later in this chapter because it sounds like she's. Um, although I mean, it just seems like there's a little bit of a regret joining Ashford. Well, we're getting ahead, but um, Tilly Tilly tasks Santa with, I guess, helping Clarissa. Not that I mean, I don't see what good it would do because I don't think anybody would be willing to release her anyway.
Uh, I don't know if it was necessarily what good it would do. Just save her.
Save her soul, I guess,
I mean,
because
at
she
the very
wasn't going to
least,
be
I guess.
budging.
Yeah.
Because Bull wasn't about to let her out. So, um, but yeah, that's the guy here you were mentioning, Cortez. What is he? He tells her that they're in a place of evil and they're being punished. Anna calls bullshit. So this is, I think that we're getting to the part where what you were talking about, where they kind of just, um, I guess that not at that point. I guess he didn't tell her that there was a plan to just kind of destroy the gate.
No.
Um, but yeah, no, I think yeah, he tells her a little bit later, but that's kind of what he's getting at. They're being punished. Um, their absolution, and I mean, and that's very, very Stephen King of these writers to have some crazy religious person basically cause extra turmoil in in addition to the turmoil that they're already having. That's a very Stephen King theme. Like especially like I don't know if you've read The Mist or seen The Mist.
Nope.
Yeah, basically, they're trapped in the mist. They're trapped inside of a supermarket and with evil creatures outside, and then there's like a crazy religious woman that says that they're being punished for being there and that they should make
I
sacrifices.
I've seen it.
Then why did you say no?
because you asked if I'd ever seen it, and I saw it with you.
You know I'm not going to remember that. But yes, similar to that is kind of the vibes I'm getting. I guess
It's one of the best parts of that movie.
what the satisfaction that you get at
Yeah,
the end.
when no, yeah, well, no, with what happens to annoying bitch in the grocery store.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a moment like this in this one as well. I mean, I know that the authors are fans of Stephen King as well as, being former assistants to George R. R. Martin, who I feel like we have to bring up every time we have a podcast on this. I don't know if this is important. I guess she visited that guy, Chris guy again. And Anna visited Chris again. I guess he's all totally screwed up from the when the gravity slowed down. But it sounds like he's just going to be fixed, so he'll be hightailing it out of there. But well, will be fixed if they get out of there. It sounds like that's still up in the air yet. But which I guess kind of brings me to I think the part that kind of made me laugh, and it's kind of what established I feel like the brother and sister relationship between Sam and Bull. Kind of he's fitted with the mech,
Yeah,
and she's
okay.
like making fun of him and saying, "Are you gonna be a big baby?" Because I guess he was like all emotional about being able to walk around.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I think part of it was also that they had taken the resources and time to do that
Yeah.
when there
Well,
was a lot of others.
yeah, I think they kind of reversed the way it's functioned. So it's like you're supposed to walk, and it's supposed to augment your walking to make it stronger, I guess. But instead, it's just walking for him.
Yeah.
But I guess he's got to use his hands to move it, which I guess comes into play because I don't like he had to like hide in a corner to use his cell phone, not cell phone, hand terminal, cell phone. They seem to be the same thing.
No,
That's basically
way better than his cell phone.
well, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's more than a global network. It's an entire solar system network, and I think the way they describe the hand terminals is they're essentially just a slab of glass.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
it seems like.
I don't know. Curious to see how the show kind of depicts them, but um, I think, and that's that chapter two with Sam and Bull. I think is kind of when I think this is the catalyst. I think that just kind of because when he said this, I'm like, this may screw things over for sure. Because they basically said no weapons can move because like any missiles or anything they fire would just move too slowly to even cause any damage. But apparently, light still moves at the speed that it would. So he's talking about turning the comm laser into a like powered up higher to make it into a weapon. So I guess unfortunately, him having Sam do that is kind of what fucked everything up because now that's what the crazies wanted to use to destroy the gate. So I feel like that was kind of like um, the inciting incident and turning point that kind of leads into our final section that we're going to be doing for next cast. But just getting into, I guess, the final showdown. I mean, shit does get real toward the end of this section, which we'll get to. But yeah, that's kind of. I wanted to call that out because obviously I didn't think much of it at the time. But yeah, Bull
But
essentially
now it stands out to you.
fucked himself. Yeah, he fucked himself and fucked basically the entire crew by tasking Sam with retooling the comm laser to be a weapon. because now it's immediately being used against him as of chapter 37. But he said, we'll have it and we won't use it, just in case. Because I guess they just want to be the ones with the weapon. You know,
Well,
the
yeah.
speak softly, carry big
Yeah.
stick or
Big
whatever.
stick. Yep. Yep.
But yeah, it fucks him. That's kind of. I think that's around the same time that Pa was named captain. Um, and more chapters with Anna. Anna visits Clarissa to cleanse her. I guess I'm doing the finger quotes, but Clarissa feels like she deserves what she gets. And I feel like, and I think they started changing it too. Like I guess she is reverted back because they're not even calling her Melba anymore. It's now Clarissa. The chapters are titled Clarissa now. I think, what was it? Was it 34? I think chapter 34 is when it started saying Clarissa instead of Melba. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't.
Yeah, if you look at the book, I think starting with chapter 4, it now says Clarissa instead of Melba. So I'm guessing that the authors are essentially telling us that Melba's essentially gone.
I mean,
I mean, she's ousted,
was
but
the same. Yeah, same thing anyway.
obviously ousted. But I mean, like, I don't think. I think it's. I don't know. Maybe it's just her chance to potentially. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think she's gonna redeem herself at all? I mean, she's already she started on another shitty path, but there's still 150 pages left of her potentially doing the right thing. I don't think she's
No, I
coming
don't
out
think
of
she
this
does.
alive. I don't know. Do you think she's going to make the sacrifice play, or I know that that's been done to death, but it seems like that's what they're setting her up for.
I hope not. I don't. Mm, yeah, I hope not. Would I be surprised? No, tropes are tropes for reasons, but
Yeah, but yeah. So that's Anna's thing, and I guess she goes to. I think one more thing that Anna does before shit goes down is I guess she goes to Bull to ask him not to let Holden
yeah. But
tell the crew, so the crew doesn't try and tell on Clarissa, so the crew doesn't try to kill her, but Bull doesn't give a shit at all if she dies, which I appreciated. So, um, sorry, what were you saying?
I thought you were at first talking to when Anna went and talked to the Rossi crew because like that Jim and Holden were more than willing to go. Amos and Holden were more than willing to just go off her as well. So they're in the same mentality camp with Bull, sort of. Like they're not in the same team together. It doesn't seem, at least currently. Though it wouldn't surprise me if they end up on the same team. But
Yeah.
their thinking clearly is aligned, whether or not they consider each other within inside their own perspectives.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, Amos saying that doesn't surprise me at all. That's completely within his
Yeah.
character. Go, yeah, I'll just fucking kill her and say the word. But this is one thing I was hoping you caught because I feel like I didn't catch it because Holden was moved to the Behemoth, and Jakanda surrendered. Did
Yeah.
I ever get into what the motivation was behind her surrender? Because I feel like it just kind of cut to.
Yeah,
It,
they did talk about it.
oh, okay, enlighten me because I feel like I
I
might have
didn't I
missed it.
didn't make notes of it. I gotta think. I
Um,
gotta think. I gotta think. The light gun.
oh, okay, so that did work. So you're
Yeah.
saying the okay. All
Martian
right.
commanding officer, Lieutenant what's her face, um, said that was a tactical disadvantage, and so they surrendered.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So it did help a little bit, but it still bites them in the ass. Um, but I think that's around the time. So Holden's brought on, and of course, the first person he encounters is Anna. Um, so Holden's still under the impression that he saw Julie Mal reincarnate, but Anna's the one that reveals to him that it's actually her sister. Um, I guess they all regret. They all agree to not say anything, including Amos. I guess because of their own pasts. I guess they
No,
basically. That's what I gathered from it. That they all feel like they've all
no,
been shitty people at some point in their lives. Go ahead.
no. They think that Naomi gets final say. She doesn't think that it's fair.
I feel like they all reluctantly agreed not to say anything, or did I misread that?
Yeah, because Naomi told him to shut the fuck up about it.
Either way, I feel like it's
Because
coming
Holden,
down to them.
because Holden was like, "Fuck no, I'm gonna say whatever the hell I want."
Yeah, I know that's what he did, but I feel like by the end of the
And
chapter, they
then
all like reflect on their own pasts of how they were all shitty people at some point, and
no,
they came around.
they made it Naomi's choice because she was damn near murdered by Naomi. So if Naomi's willing to get over it, then they can get over it.
Okay, all right, and then that was Naomi's reasoning, as she said, her own past is not
Yes.
exactly clean, squeaky clean.
Yeah.
So, all right,
And then Amos made a comment too, which because of the short story, we have an idea of exactly how on the nose that is, but
yeah.
without the short story, you have a hint that Amos is clearly not super fond of his past either.
Yeah, and then it's an advantage that we have as well because I think that story was released several years after this book. So
Oh wow! So they never would have.
so anybody reading the book as it came out uh, didn't have that insight that we have. Which reminds me, this is not related, but um, the next short story I think that takes place between 3 and 4 highly the internets are highly recommending that you do not read that story first before reading book 4. So I think that's what we'll do.
I'm just gonna read what you told me to read.
Fair enough. Well, I was just giving you a heads up that I think, the next short story takes place between books 3 and 4, but it's making references to things that happen in book 4 way too hardcore to the point where it's potential spoilers, and also we won't know what the fuck they're talking about. So may have to hold that short story off for after 4. But as you said, I'll tell you what to read. So yeah, on to where shit goes down. Um, so that's when Hector Cortez comes and asks uh, Clarissa to join the mutiny and protect Ashford. So basically, she just becomes Ashford's bodyguard while they fire the laser and destroy the gate. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah, basically.
kind of building off of Clarissa saying that, kind of building off of her feeling fucked, but it's kind of like the sacrifice play, I guess, that she sees in her mind, where she's cutting herself off from the world, but she's saving the solar system from an alien invasion. I guess, she's was in a cell by herself for quite a bit of time, so I guess she's willing to believe anything to get the hell out of there. Fire that they're gonna fire the laser and destroy the gate. Essentially, this is kind of leading into the last section of the book, and I guess that's just going to be the final battle that ensues to get that to stop. But I guess just before that happens, it's when the shit starts going down. But right before that starts happening, we get the unfortunate news that I guess the doctor essentially tells Bill that he's Bill Bull. The doctor essentially tells Bull that he's dying. Um, Probably not going to make it out of this novel alive, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Character that we enjoy. But, I mean, it seems to be the theme anyway in these books. It sounds like, I mean, we keep getting Holden and the crew, but then it sounds like we get, like, new people to interact with. I'm not sure if anybody, I'm hoping we see, like, Bobby and Ava Sorella again, but who knows if we do. I
I had
assume we.
wanted Bobby to be a new one, or like not to be a new one, to be one that we would see again. But it seems more and more likely that Ava Sorella will be probably it.
I mean, yeah, I feel like Ava Sorella's coming back for sure, but Bobby, I think would.
You think they're gonna have a way to toss her back in?
I mean, why not? She had a close relationship with Ava Sorella,
I
but who
guess
knows? I mean, Bobby has a
the way they
reason.
ended that short story with her nephew, nephew,
Yeah, it
nephew.
made it sound like she was coming back,
Yeah,
but obviously, I don't think Prexitiki's coming back, and I don't think Bull. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But it sounds like this is Bull's one and only,
I mean,
which
yeah,
is
it does.
unfortunate. Because yeah, like I said, the doctor told him he's dying, and then right after that, that's when he finds out that Ashford is trying to take back the ship. Um, so he tells everybody that Ashford would kind of come after to kind of hide and go into safety. Um, and this kind of now that I'm kind of revisiting this because I know what happens to Serge. I think his last conversation because he calls Serge.
Yeah,
His last
when he's talking with
conversation with
Bull,
Serge
yeah.
is telling him you could be XO after all this.
Remember my name for
So
your yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of like so that brings us to the last chapter before we kind of cut it off here. But
Pow.
yeah, Serge got shot in the head. Yeah. Um,
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't expecting that then.
they kind of they do the same thing. They've done it a lot of times in these books. Just nonchalant descriptions of. I mean, from the very beginning when they did that with.
Oh yeah, with the other guy that survived on the Rocinante. Oh, well, it wasn't Rocinante, but on the
Yeah,
Canterbury.
Rocinante crew. His name is
Yeah,
escaping me now.
the
Was
other
it
Canterbury guy.
Trench? What was his name?
Well, I don't remember his name.
But yeah, but
I
yeah,
know you're talking
Surge.
about. This is just like a bullet came through. It was right before they got on the Rocinante, actually.
Yeah, yeah, just an unfortunate person that you thought was going to be there the whole time and it wasn't. But yeah, same thing with Surge. Just nonchalant shot in the head, and then until he hid in a tent, and then I guess Cortez comes in, and tells them the whole grand plan, and that's kind of where it ends. But so after this, we're kind of going to be reading the rest of um, basically the rest of this novel, but predictions. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Like, how grand do you want of a prediction?
Whatever you're feeling.
Uh, I'm hoping that if we're losing Bull anyway, he takes out Cortez and Ashford at the same time. Uh, I also would really appreciate if it was in that room that Holden was in the middle. Uh, it's not Bull that kills them per se, but he gets them to do something stupid and have the room kill themselves.
Yeah, uh, I feel like Bull is taking out Ashford, and it's at this point their relationship is too personal for him to not be the one to do that, unless they just want to give the readers no satisfaction whatsoever.
I mean, they trained under George R. R. Martin, and it's been 15 fucking years.
Well, George R. R. Martin gives satisfaction when it comes to his stories. He's just not.
No, he doesn't.
Tell. Well, absence makes the heart grow fonder, right, James?
No. Absence made me give less of a shit than I ever did before.
Book 6 is coming.
I no longer care whether or not Jon Snow is a warg.
Did they even hint that he was?
But yeah.
But well, we're getting way off topic here. Predictions. Do you think they're getting out of the slow zone?
Do I think they're getting out?
Yeah, or do you think they're staying in?
I think they reopen a way back to Earth and can get out. But because you told me that there's time skips in between some of these books now, I'm of the opinion that probably what happens during the time skip is that they choose to stay here and build like a station and start exploring or opening the rest of these to figure out what the fuck happened.
Yeah. So what do you think? Like, do you think we're now, even though the whole charm of this series was we're gonna stay semi-realistic by being within the solar system, do you think they're gonna just now do galaxy spanning stuff?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, obviously, they're hinting at we could
They're
potentially
already
have.
out to who knows where.
Well, yeah. I mean, the aliens that created the proto molecule. I mean, as per Holden's touchy feely, uh, like literal touchy feely vision that he had by touching the thing. Basically hinted at the aliens that created the proto molecule were wiped out by another like I guess more technological than even them race of aliens.
Uh,
I'm
yep.
wondering if the rest of the series leads into us dealing with them.
Yeah,
Although I mean, if they're that technologically advanced, I don't know how we would have a chance. But I guess we'll see. That's just my. I think. I think that there's like that alien race that they're hinting at of what they were fighting. Um, might become the overarching thing potentially. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, there's gates that apparently go to all over the solar system. So it's either we're gonna have a final battle with aliens, or they're gonna be exploring planets and other solar systems, or maybe both. But that's kind of what they're hinting at the end of this, or that's what was hinted at based off of that weird trippy shroom vision that Holden had. So I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know, but it seems like it's a fair guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. Maybe I guess it'll just end with them resolving the conflict within the Behemoth, and then it'll kind of end there. And I mean, I told you there's a time jump, but that's all I know. I don't know how much of a time jump it is. It's just indicated that this is the first three books are kind of like a like not like a de facto trilogy, and then 4, 5, and 6 are kind of another story arc. So
Okay.
that's all I know because I didn't want to spoil too much for myself. But I honestly wish I didn't even know that. But alas. When trying to figure out what we want to read next, that's
Makes it hard
that's
to
what
plan
happened.
if you don't. Yeah.
I came across that when trying to determine whether or not we should read the short story before or afterward. But yeah, all right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But yeah, so any final thoughts before I do our outro?
No, no. I think I'm pretty excited to finish this one up.
Awesome. Yeah, same here. All right. Well, join us next time for the rest of Abaddon's Gate. Um, that'll be wrapping up the story, and we'll kind of see where the direction goes. But yeah, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Take care, everybody.